I am going to change your life. It's 2025 and you probably have a lot of New Year's resolutions written down on your little journal, but are you actually going to change? If you actually want to get your life together and improve yourself and get better, then watch this video because I'll be going over the 5 steps you need to follow that I can guarantee will change your life. Welcome to Project 365. Now, this project is going to change your life in 2025, right? And I promise you this. If you watch this video and actually apply the things that I will show you, I can guarantee that in 365 days from now on, it will change your life, right? So the first point I want to make is that you have free will to choose. You literally have free will to choose to whether stay what you're currently doing, stay in your current situation, or transform yourself, transform your life, right? Let's say right now you're drinking beers, you're scrolling through social media, you're going through all of that brain rot, you're eating junk food, you're getting passed out drunk with your friends, you're sleeping in, you're not doing the work that you know needs to be done, right? That is your choice. No one out there is forcing you to do that, right? At the same time, you also have free will to choose to change and transform your life, right? Transform your life into somewhere where you are healthy, right? Where you're making money by doing what you love, where you're driving crazy supercars, where you're traveling the world, where you're leading a healthy lifestyle, right? This is not just a dream, but it can be achieved, right? But what you need to decide is whether you actually want to change, right? Make a choice between the two lifestyles. So after 3 years of running my online business, right, I went through a lot to change and develop as a person. When I first started my marketing agency, you see, I was a student. I was trying a bunch of different models that didn't really work. I did drop shipping, I did forex trading, I did crypto trading. I basically had no income, right? The most I think I made was like $200 a month. I had no skill, right? I wasn't actually valuable to anyone, right? No one could pay me to do anything for them. Right? I was drinking, I was partying, I was basically being a degen. But now I transform myself into someone who runs a business, an online business, someone who's building a brand, someone that has multiple skill sets, right? That I can monetize, that people will pay me for, right? So that I'm actually valuable to the market. I'm making anywhere between 5 figures a month, right? I'm traveling and working on my own schedule, meaning I have no one telling me where I need to be, what time I need to be at. I just work on my own schedule. I just kind of do the things I want to do throughout my day. And I promise you one thing, right? That if you apply, again, what I show you in this video today, right? You will change your life this year. Whatever you want to be, right? In a couple years' time, you are going to be, right? It's just a matter of, again, making that choice between whether you just want to fall asleep, you want to go through life, right, on autopilot and just never ever do anything about it, or you actually pick to take the action to transform your life. And this is what I did 3 years ago. Essentially made a decision that I want to change my life. So there's going to be 5 steps to this, right? And each of these 5 steps kind of correlate with each other. So if you're missing one of these steps, then none of the steps will work out for you. So step 1 is reframing your mind, right? Your mind, the internal of your mind, is a reflection of your outside world, right? If inside your mind, like everything is messed up, right? Then the outside world will be messed up, right? So you got to be able to reframe and rechange your mind, right? Rechange. So why do most people fail? This is the journey of a person that fails a lot, right? They get an idea, right? They're watching TikTok and they see someone talking about a particular business model. They get an idea, they get curious, right? You go ahead and research your stuff on YouTube or wherever you want to do your research on. You kind of get overwhelmed with all of the information that is getting thrown at you. And then you make excuses because it's hard, right? It's hard to actually implement that research into something actionable. So you make excuses. I don't have time for this. I'm going to do it next month. I'm going to do it next week, right? Or I'm going to try something else. Or this is not for me, right? Then you go back to the idea stage, right? You go back on autopilot until you get another idea, right? And then you continue the cycle over and over again. And this is why most people fail, is because they have short-term thinking, right? They think in the short term. They chase short-term pleasures. And I'm not going to blame you and tell you that this is because of you, right? It's not because of you. It's because of social media, right? We have short-form content, TikToks, Reels. We got people telling you that you can make $10,000 in 5 days, right? They're incepting the idea that everything comes quick in life, right? Which is not really true, right? Good things take time. If good things were quick to realize, then everyone would be successful. So you have to understand that things take time, right? This is just a cold, hard truth. Things take time, right? And you have to be able to dedicate your full energy to one thing for one whole year. Not a couple months, not a couple weeks, not a couple days. One whole year, right? Now, let's talk about motivation, right? I believe that motivation is a killer of all success, right? This is where motivation comes in. Idea, curiosity, and research, right? These are the stages where you are kind of really motivated. You do a couple hours of research and you're imagining all the things that you could do within your business model or, with anything that you find on the internet. You might be even motivated after this video, and I don't want you to be, right? I want you to instead find consistency and discipline, right? Even if you do one small thing a day, one small thing, it will compound to something bigger later on, right? I'm not telling you to go out and, if you do outreach, do thousands and thousands of outreaches in one single day. That's quickly going to kill your consistency. Do like 5, right? Reach out to 5 people a day. Then go on to reach out to 10 people a day. Then increase that number until you kind of get used to it. You need to not expect short-term results or chase quick wins, right? Nothing in business or life comes quick. Again, if it did, everyone would be successful. And what separates successful people is their ability to focus on one single thing for a long period of time. And this kind of goes to everything, applies to everything. If you already started your business, you probably know of the thing called the shiny object syndrome. Now, the shiny object syndrome can be a very, very dangerous trap if you're running a business, because it makes you think the grass is greener on the other side. You quit whatever you're currently working on and you go ahead and try to pursue that thing, right? And it can quickly kill success. So you need to be able to focus on one thing for a long period of time, right? Now, an action step, right now, I want you to change one thing about your life. Pick one thing. It doesn't have to be many different things, but just pick one thing and dedicate yourself to it. One business model, one offer, one system, one channel, one of everything, and just dedicate yourself to it. Now, the next step is setting your goals. There's 3 types of goals a person can have: an income goal, a physical goal, and a relationship goal, right? And in each of these sort of sections or goals, I don't want you to go crazy and I want you to be realistic, right? If you set up crazy goals, like I'm going to make 1 million this year, I'm going to get a 6-pack and gain 40 kg of muscle, I'm going to travel the world and build new relationships, you're just setting yourself up for failure, right? Because these are unrealistic expectations. You're not going to make 1 million this year. If you just started out, you're not going to make 1 million this year. You might. I'm not saying this is not entirely possible. But my point here is don't set unrealistic expectations, because what happens when you don't hit your crazy goals, you quit, right? Because it essentially tells your brain, it's not working out for me, right? This is not for me, right? Even let's say you started a business, after a year, you've made only like $20,000 and you set yourself goal to make $100,000, right? You're going to focus more on not hitting that $100,000 than you are of hitting that $20,000. It's still impressive, right? But you are going to put yourself down because you set yourself too high of an expectation. So instead, I want you to set up realistic expectations in alignment with who you are right now. If you never made $1 online, don't expect to make $1 million in your first year, right? And again, I'm not saying don't set crazy goals, but then you just got to understand things do take time, right? Instead of chasing big goals all the time, you need to strive for small milestones, right? Small milestones, one thing at a time. So I want you to set yourself a goal, right? One goal, something you want to change the most about your life. And then print that goal, right? Just write it on an A4 piece of paper, print it out, and put it on your wall, right? Wherever you're working or wherever you spend the most time in. And then I want you to sit down and visualize that goal, right? Write down in your journal how your day would look like if you have achieved that goal. Where do you live? Who's around you? How much money is in your bank account? What location you're in? What you're wearing? What does the room smell like? Be as detailed as possible. And then turn that written visual goal into a mood board, right? Head over to Pinterest, find some visual images that represent your life once you achieve that goal, right? And what I want you to do every single day is look at that goal and look at that vision board, right? And then feel the energy of you actually hitting that goal, right? Because that is basically going to reinforce, right, action. Step 3 is reverse engineering your goal, right? You have a brain, use it. Let's say you want to make $10,000 a month. Ask yourself, what should be done, right? Your brain is very smart and capable of knowing what it needs to do to achieve certain outcomes, right? So use it. What should be done to hit 10K a month? Reverse engineer that goal. Learn a skill. What can be done to do that? Buy a course, watch YouTube videos, sign a free trial client, join communities, right? Making 10K a month, you need a client. What can be done to do that? Learn outreach, learn sales, master your skill, get case studies from free trial clients. Building your online image. What can be done to do that? Having a website, posting YouTube videos, posting TikTok or Instagram reels, and having a portfolio, right? Now, your aim here in this step is to create action steps that lead to your goal. These action steps then turn into a to-do list, and that to-do list then turns into your work, and that work then leads to your goal, right? You see how it works, right? So whatever goal you have right now, sit down in a quiet room for at least an hour and use your brain. Just use it, right? Reverse engineer the things that need to be done to achieve that goal. Step 4, some key principles for success. Take a screenshot of this, save it as your wallpaper, but these are the key principles, right? First thing is making a decision. Again, making that choice to change, right? To transform your life. Choose one goal and commit entirely to it, right? Avoid chasing multiple goals at a time or saying yes to everything, right? Just make a real decision on chasing one single goal. Next thing is consistent effort, right? Daily action, even if you don't feel like it, right? Progress, you see, it's built over time, right? Just like fitness, you're not going to go to the gym once and all of a sudden you're built and jacked, right? It just doesn't work like that, right? You have to go to the gym 3, 4, 5 times a week for like a year's time. You got to eat properly. It's all a progress, right? Long-term progress. Same thing with business. Same thing with anything that you want to change. Embrace challenges, right? Whenever you have a challenge or you failed at something, instead of focusing on the fact that you failed, focus on what did you actually learn from that failure, right? Because failures are just obstacles, they're bottlenecks, right? Bottlenecks can be solved, right? And this is essentially how you level up, is by solving bottlenecks. Surrounding yourself with the right people, right? I know it's a bit cliche, but it's true, right? You gotta connect with people who uplift and understand your mission, right? Because you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And that is true, right? I used to think this was cliche, but I kind of realized it is true, right? You are who you surround yourself with, and become the person you want to be, right? Fully transition into your new self, right? Write down who is your ideal self, right? This is from step 2, visualizing your goal. Who is that person, right? What are his traits? What are his or her traits, right? What type of decisions they make? What type of lifestyle they lead, right? Even if, like, let's say that future ideal self is like super rich and, he or she travels a lot, right? Even now, just go to better places, eat at better restaurants, right? Or dress better, just dress better. Do the small things that can lead up to the actual person that you want to become, right? Even if you can't afford to travel and everything right now, just do the smaller things that your future self would do, right? Smaller things. It doesn't have to be big things for now. You will get to that point in the future. And step 5, some of the tools you do need to succeed, right? Community, right? Access a community of like-minded individuals who share similar goals, right? I'm in like 3 communities, and each of these communities have specific goals that I want to achieve, right? And it's super, super helpful for me because I'm able to just pop in, send a message, send a question, and get it answered by like 3-5 people that are all striving towards the same goal, right? The more people, the more brains are striving towards the same goal, right, the easier it will be to find a solution, right? So if you have a problem right now, someone else already probably solved it. So all you need to do if you're really, really stuck at that problem is ask that person how they solved it and then just follow what they did. Second thing, personalized plan, right? You need to actually plan everything out, right? Plan everything out and follow it and have a written contract or just promise to yourself that you are going to follow that plan. The last thing is a tracking system. Now, I use Notion, Google Sheets as well, but I basically track every single thing that goes on in my life. My habits, my commitments, my progress in business and personal life. I also journal, reading, how many books I'm reading, right? I track every single thing. Because after 365 days, I'm basically going to be able to look back into all of the data that I tracked and see if I actually made progress, right? See if I actually made progress. If you don't track your stuff, you're never ever going to know where you're driving the vehicle. It's basically like driving the vehicle blind, right? You don't want to do that, otherwise you can hurt yourself. So just make sure to track every single thing that you do. Like, it's super easy to create trackers on Google Sheets or Notion. There's so many YouTube tutorials. Go and search it up. But these are the 5 steps that you need to follow in order to change your life, right? Trust me, if you follow these 5 steps, you are going to change. You can come back to this video in 1 year and tell me what you've changed, right? But then again, I want to close this video off by saying you have free will to choose. Don't forget that. Everyone has free will to choose how they want to lead their life, right? If you currently don't like your life, right? If you currently drink, waste your time, you watch brain rot content, you don't really do anything, that's your choice. There's no one else to blame but yourself, right? But you do have that free will to choose to work towards a better life.